there's a lot of simple things that we can do that make an amazingly big difference in our lives. And one of them is taking accountability for every moment of your life. Again, you're either a victim or a volunteer. Victims tend to blame others. They blame other people. They blame the situation. And oftentimes, in a sense, they're correct. It wasn't their fault. It was outside of their control. But they can still take accountability for being there in the moment. For many years, I was teaching a Think and Grow Rich class, and I would talk about accountability, and I would give the example that if I'm driving down the road and someone runs the intersection and T-bones me, I'm still going to take personal responsibility. I'm going to take accountability because I don't want to give away my personal power to that guy who made the mistake. And I said this 3 times a year for 3 or 4 years, and then coincidentally, one day, I'm going through an intersection. Someone runs the intersection, hits the car next to me, and they get pushed up into me and damage my car a bit. And at first, everybody gets out of the car, check to see if everybody's okay. Everyone's okay for the most part. The person who actually did cause the accident, he actually ran away from the accident, drove away from the accident. And as someone had called the police, and as we were sitting there waiting for the police, I thought to myself, my car was still drivable. It's probably a few $100s worth of damage. I said, you know what? I'm going to take accountability. I chose to drive my car at this moment, at this time, and I went ahead and went on to my destination. I didn't wait for the police to come. I didn't file a police report. I didn't try to seek damages. I didn't do any of that. I took accountability for the moment. Now, some people think I'm ridiculous. They think that I should have collected the money, should have made the person pay, and I promise they paid. They may not have paid me, but they paid. But more importantly, what I got, what I was able to maintain and increase for myself was my personal power. Because every time you blame someone for something, you're saying you have more control over my life than I do. You're stronger, greater, more influential, whatever it might be. When you hold someone else accountable rather than yourself, when you blame someone, all you're doing is putting holes in the bucket that your personal power sits in, and it just leaks out those holes. But when you start taking accountability for every moment of your life, things change. Your personal power over time becomes greater and greater. And not only are you able to weather bad times and sort of maybe see things more optimistically, again, you're able to fix what's going on here in a better way. So, again, very, very small kind of change, very small kind of shift. Taking personal accountability for every moment of your life. And I'll give you one more frame that sort of helps me accept this. We can see ourselves as human beings who have spiritual experience, or we can see ourselves as spiritual beings having a human experience. And when I frame myself as a spiritual being having a human experience, then taking accountability makes sense. I chose to be in this lifetime. I chose to experience the things that I'm experiencing. I chose my life. And you chose yours, whether you realize it or not. We're all stuck in the matrix. It's your job to find your way out. I hope what we share helps. Have a great day.